It's Friday Night Live with your host, Wolf Brother Mythos and the Freak. And now for the car wreck of a show, the Frog and the Fist.
And we're live. What's going on, guys?
What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolf Brother Mythos.
And I am the Freak, and welcome to the show. Sorry for the late start. Unfortunately, I have to pay the bills. You know, working.
That on-call life.
Dude, it sucks. It sucks so much.
Gravy, baby.
Oh my God, it sucks. Anyway.
Oh man, we got some badass people in the chat here, like Brother Marine, like Brother Meeks, like
what's up, guys?
Commodore.
Freaking Commodore. Commie's there. Marcos Castellanos is here, man. Missed him. It's the first time I've seen him this year.
Marcos, my brother. Whoa. We got Brother Lupus in the chat.
Hey, G, don't diss on the old people loop there, the shuffle music, brother. That's, hey, I get down on that. I get down on that, okay? Just saying. It's my jam, bro.
So good to see Brother Marcos.
Hell yeah, man.
Brother Lupus.
Freaking Lupus.
Love that guy. I just saw Brother Lupus and Brother Superfly earlier today when I was on Hobby Corner Kev's show. So that was awesome.
Dude, how'd that go, man?
Oh, man, it was a great show.
I wanted to get on, dude. As soon as I got in, I got hit.
Hammered with work.
Yeah.
It's all gravy, baby. Man, you know, it was a lot of fun being on a show with real YouTubers. That was fun. But you know what came up? Do you know what came up?
What?
Brother, you're not going to believe what came up.
What came up?
I went on another show all the way across the pond.
Uh-huh.
In the fortress of the corner of the hobby of the Kev.
Oh, dang. Oh, dang.
You know what Rich from Stray Black Studios brought up?
What?
The freak breeding program.
Hey, you cannot go wrong.
I cannot escape the freak breeding.
No. Program. Yep, we're gonna be we're gonna be having some puppies here pretty soon. Just for you. They're a little strange when they're little, but wait till they open their eyes.
So so one of the questions, because we were all getting kind of interviewed and interviewing each other kind of deal. And I think Rich brought up, it was someone from the chat. If you could have a mini based on you, what would it be? And I mentioned how a couple years ago, I did a conversion of a Wolf Lord to be a Wolf Lord Mythos.
Right.
And, you know, I mentioned how, you know, I even gave him, you know, went on to Shapeways and found a head with my kind of hair, my kind of, goatee and whatnot, and you know that I even painted up the Thunderwolf in German Shepherd colors to be to look just like, and of course I said Commander, my German Shepherd. And Rich from Spray Black Studio said, "Oh, I thought you were going to say that you converted up the Thunderwolf's face to look like Freak." I was like, "No, not the Freak program. I thought I was safe across the pond." You know, regardless of the fact that they're around the world.
Hey, man, it's a popular thing. Everybody wants to get their hands on a freak puppy. That's what they're called. They're freak puppies.
We got some brilliant Australians in the chat here, including Weather Pig in the chat.
Hey, there he is. Yeah,
we've got Brack the War Boss. And we've got G in the chat who's doing some DIY med service. Hope he feels better soon.
Oh God.
Oh man, be careful, baby freaks imprint on the first thing they see. How is that bad? They also hump the first thing they see. Oh.
You know, we really couldn't. We couldn't. Yeah,
Oh, everyone's a brother except Commodore. I see how it is. Of course, you're our brother, Commodore. That's never in question.
Yeah, we try to breed that that part out of them, and it was just very difficult. So we just left it in there. We call it a perk.
That's right. G is funkin' hungry. Oh man. So, it's a Friday, and we got to hang out today.
We did.
We went and had some lunch together.
Got lunch.
Yeah, but lunch aside, what kind of week have you had? Have you done any hobby goodness this week? You got
Not
any kind of poke shops for us this week?
bro. This week has been really, really tough. Had a lot of stuff going on this week, and including today. Nina Chick had to go over through some surgery, and this week has just been crazy. I've been going to bed early. As soon as I get home, eat, read a book for a few minutes, for about half an hour to an hour, and then I just go crash. And that's pretty much been my week. Every now and then, Nina and I would play. What's it called? Not Death Stranding. Deep Stranded or Standard Deep, something like that. But we've only got to play that twice, I think, for the whole week. So that's how crazy it's been.
Connection sorted out?
Yes, we did. Yeah, we figured it out. Yeah, it was the router, so we finally figured the thing out.
Cool.
But yeah, we got that fixed up. But yeah, overall, I mean, like I said, it wasn't a bad week. It was just kind of a lot of stuff happening all at once. So
what did we have for lunch? We went to a Chinese buffet called Supreme.
That was good.
Tasty.
Yeah, I had good food there, man. Really freaking good. I was funkin' hungry too.
Man, I was hungry when we walked in, and then we just...
Ooh.
They lost some money when we walked in.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. We got our money's worth for sure.
Tommy says, Reed, is that what they call looking at Playboys now?
No.
Dave, my man.
Hey,
Good
dog.
to see you, brother.
Caught a show at last. Yes, you did. Now you'll be sorry.
Oh, man. Superfly, Meeks, and Marine all together in one spot.
Woo.
Man.
That could be dangerous.
Oh, it would be cool to see them finally get in some gaming and some hobby.
Dude, yeah, heck.
Word on the street is you can't read, freak.
What? I changed the damn title. Shut up. Yeah, should get a game and a hobby one day. Yes. No,
Heck yeah.
Yeah, should.
You know, I love doing these hobby hangouts we do online and stuff like that. But man, when you could actually meet up in person and do some hobby at the same bench together,
it's pretty badass.
Or get together and get a game in, even if it's on a coffee table. We've done a few coffee table battle reports.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. We like doing the professional table and all that, but sometimes when all you got's a coffee table and you got to scratch that itch for a game.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, we had something similar like that happen. We went to what was it called? Texarkana. Yep, we got a little play time over there. It was probably pretty fun.
It was so cool. We talked to the manager on duty while we were there about they had a little dining area that's closed down after breakfast, right? So it goes unused all the rest of the day.
Yeah,
and it has one big stone covered conference table, and that conference table was pretty much a 6x4.
It was pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, so we walked over and we were like, hey, nobody's using that conference table. Do you mind if we and our friends set up to do some gaming on this big table here? And she's like, yeah, light switches over here. Y'all help yourselves.
Yeah, it was pretty fun, man. We actually got to set up. Of course, you know, I think she was a manager or something. She kind of talked my ear off for a little bit, but hey, I took one for the team.
It was the Texas side of the Texarkana border.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a little weird. That was a little weird interaction that we had with her.
Oh, yeah. The manager had a big crush on Freak. She was in a serious conversation with her husband, who left work allegedly. I heard later he didn't have a job, but left work allegedly to drive up during her lunch break to talk, to spend some time with his wife. and she left her conversation with him to come over and smoke and talk to a Freak about, you know, old music. And like you could visibly see the husband getting neglected and jealous the more she talked to him, and she just kept scooting closer. So Freak made a friend. I think that's what got us the table, honestly.
I'm serious. I wasn't sure how close would be, you know, for me to get ready to fight this guy, because I mean, I was like, you know, and the thing is, she was like right there. I'm like,
We're on the street.
I smell your Marlboros.
Word on the street, Freak, is that you're a hoe.
Damn it.
But so she after she hit on Freak for about half an hour, she gave us the table, she showed us where the lights were, gave us basically the whole free run of the entire dining area.
Yep, pretty much.
She let us she showed me where the floor outlets were, said we could plug in our phones, all that good stuff. Not opposed to selling yourself for hobby space. Hey, you know,
whatever it takes, right?
We're in the biz, okay, as Chippendale's dancers, so you know.
We aim to, I guess, please. Yeah.
We're easy. We're just not cheap.
Yep.
How well the Freak pre-breeding program works. Anyways, so after she hit our Freak, she gave us the dining area. She comes over about half an hour into our game, and she's looking around at the models. She goes, "So
this is like D&D."
She goes, "This wasn't the kind of tabletop game I expected. What kind of game is this?" Oh, and I started to go into the newcomer. Well, this is a game called Warhammer 40K, and it's set in. Oh, I know what Warhammer is. And we were both. Okay, so me, Freak, and Archer were all there. All of us do a kind of a 360 to turn around.
Yeah, it got a little weird after that. It's just awkward.
Baby, can I use your conference table? Unbutton, stop the shirt. That's how it happened.
God. Oh man. So that's here's something to think about. There you go, you guys. You're welcome.
Quick, deflect.
Deflect, yes.
Oh,
let's look at this.
Another...
This will change everybody's thoughts from that horrible night.
Not another Pink Flamingo nightclub. Wrong turn on the hunt for a night.
Right.
They don't cook at night, boys.
Oh my God.
I know what Warhammer is. I cosplay as a Slanesh Demonette. That was possible.
Oh my God. Oh man, where is? No, it's just gonna get act up here. Close it.
Now, okay. So, like, she wanted to play Hide the Cigar, makes you forget everything. Okay, so before like. You know what? I'm not going to say anything negative.
Oh, God.
But yeah, it was an adventure. But yeah,
it was an adventure.
It was definitely our first time ever playing Warhammer in a hotel lounge. That was kind of cool.
And you know what? After the whole incident, you know, I mean, we got to play, but I was scarred. And so, of course, you know.
Twice, actually. We played for 2 whole nights. Got to come back the second night.
Yep. Yeah,
the second night she was like, "Hey, I'm not working late tonight, but you know, just wanted to come say hi to y'all before I leave." You know that awkward pause when, like, you know, somebody goes out of their way to come say hi to you, and then there's like an awkward pause where somebody's waiting for you to ask one of those next questions. Like, yeah, I'm getting off right about now.
We kind of like, okay, great. She walks away, and then Sun, yep.
Yep, so there was that awkward pause.
Emotional damage!
Freak let the moment hang there for like a solid minute. And he goes, "Well, you have a great night relaxing when you get home, and I'm about to go finish this game here with my friend." He was playing Brother Archer that night. He goes, "I'm going to go finish this game over here with my friend. I think it's my turn to roll the dice." He just shut down.
Emotional damage!
It was emotional damage.
Kaiju says it was awkward because she was waiting for you to slip her a number, but it was written on the back of the Freak Breeding Program pamphlet all along.
Right. Oh my god. Oh man.
So here's another. What? I'll be right there, Mom.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. But hey, we had a good game. We had a good hangout, man.
Yeah, it was
It was
great.
good. It was a lot of fun, man.
Thank you, Weathered Pig. We have an adventure pretty much everywhere we go.
Pretty much. Yep. We always have stories.
So, speaking of games, we're going to show. I've got pictures I sent to your personal Freak.
I got you.
Brother Atlas and I. Well, I had quite a bit of hobby update.
Okay.
First, I had a game with Atlas since we're talking about games. It was a 1,000-point game, and because we're having a 40K and barbecue event, and the idea is to do a one-day escalation. Okay, so they're all going to be smaller point games, so we can fit them all in the same day. So we're starting at 750, going to 1,000, going to 1,250. So they're all small games.
You're not wrong. But actually, Mithas was the one who got me sick. Just saying.
You know, it's not confirmed. We could have gotten sick in the same place.
Wait, right? You got sick first. Then, surprise.
Or you were asymptomatic at first.
Okay. Oh my god. Oh, my
Evening,
God.
Greg. My brother, good to see you.
What's up, buddy?
40K and barbecue sounds great. Yes, it is super fun. And our brother Atlas does amazing barbecue. And he's like,
gosh, yeah.
This year it falls on his birthday, right? And he's like, what kind of barbecue do y'all want? Burgers, brisket? I'm like, brother, it's your birthday. What do you want?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, but what do y'all want? He's such a kind-hearted guy.
Yeah, he's good people, man. So much.
Oh, you know what? We got to get Marcos up here for one of these events. He's only like 4 hours away.
What?
Yeah, Marcos. He's in Dallas.
You're kidding
Fort
me.
Worth area. Yeah.
Castellanos?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Yeah.
Marcos, where you at, man?
Yeah, we got to get
Grand Prairie. Okay. Grand Prairie, Texas. Yeah, DF. Okay. Yeah. Well, hell, man. Huh. That's not far.
Craving beef ribs. Oh,
Man,
I love ribs.
that's just a little 3.5 hours, man. 3.5 hours away, roughly.
Yeah, we got to get him down here for one of these events.
Yeah. That's not a bad deal. Yeah, because we live kind of north of Houston, so we're not in Houston proper. So we're a little ways north of it. So.
Greg says, barbecue, oh man.
Oh, man, and he can cook, too.
Atlas, oh, so good. Did I read your title correct? That's right. That's right. We're going to calm our tits about the town. We're doing the town news today.
Yep.
But you know what? This is a time of New Year's resolutions, and I didn't cover this last week because, well, quite frankly, it hadn't happened yet. But I have been getting a little worked up, and I sometimes get salty when talking about the Tau.
Yep.
And it was brought to my attention that my saltiness can sometimes be off-putting on the show, or in general. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't have to be off-putting. I don't have to be on the show to be off-putting. And
I love pudding.
Oh man, I would love to have a game with you. A little. Okay.
Oh my God,
Brother,
you got. Wow, he called you out. Wow.
Brother Kami. Okay, maybe my salt can be more than a little off-putting. So.
Wow. Well, James just flat out.
And
shared your sentiment.
Brought to my attention that one of the reasons people come to our show is because they like that we promote hobby positivity, community positivity.
I like
and when we start getting fired up or salty or straight up whiny bitches about the Tau, that it's not what they came to this channel or this community for. They came for that positivity. So we are going to do the Tau, and I am going to keep it as hobby positive as possible. They're giving me fuel, freak. They're feeding me.
They are. They really do. You see what they're doing, right? This is called baiting. So every one of these guys have a little cauldron, and they're sitting there stirring each pot. They're just stirring those suckers. You know you hate. They're like the little devil on your shoulder. You know you hate the Tau. Go ahead, say it.
Rich from Sprayback Studios today was also on the Tau hate trade, and I'm like, I want to jump in, but I'm keeping it hobby positive this year. This is my resolution to try and stay hobby positive. So I am going to mention no. I'm just saying that people have told me that as a YouTube personality, I'm supposed to be promoting positivity and not be so off-putting about the Tau. So we're going to cover the news about the Tau, but I am going to try and stay.
Oh God! God, you're like, I come here for the salt. It's not every day someone in ice cream container armor deletes a space marine and destroys the gene seed, so it's peeing on your legacy. God, I don't think we have to bring any salt. I think the chat does it for us.
But okay, and I'm going to keep it anonymous. But actually, one message I got really was one that kind of put the lid in this resolution, because it hit me in the feels, and if I have a weak spot, it's definitely sexiness. But my other weak spot is the feels. Sorry, I was looking for the comment that got me to change my mind, and I came across the picture of the sexy orc, sexy orc lady, that is.
Everybody is behind you on assault. What did he say? Where's it at? I just saw it. Robert Evans, don't sell out, brother Frost. Be you, homie.
Okay. Nope, that wasn't it. Okay, so there was a point when a Tau player yesterday, where a newer player just started out in 9th, started on Tau, 100% because the mecha aesthetic, and mostly been getting his ass beat because he started in 9th edition when they're not good. But he's been getting his ass beat, but he didn't care because he likes the models. He's asking advice because he's thinking of dropping the faction, because the people he plays with are freaking out about the leaks and telling him once the new rules drop, they're not going to play him if he has more than one of the new tank or those railgun tanks, or runs a store surge or X, Y, or Z. And he's like, I'm either going to drop the faction or just drop the game, because everybody thinks it's okay to shit on me because I like the mecha looking guys. He's a solid player, and he's been getting his ass beat for the last 18 months. No complaints, no excuses. He just keeps playing them and trying to do better. I want his Tau to be good, especially for him, because he loves the faction. That's his faction. He doesn't dabble in other factions. He doesn't play multiple armies. He only plays the Tau, and he loves them. And once he hit me in the feels, I'm like, how dare you try to be a better person and improve upon yourself?
What's wrong with these people, man? Dang.
Oh, man.
I mean, you got to give it to him. I mean, I get it.
The Emperor protects, but he can't protect your feelings.
Wow. Oh
man.
my God.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage. So, I have the same problem on my channel too. I try to stay positive about Warhammer, and to be honest, players trashing each other's factions is a factor why I struggle sometimes. Okay, see, that's another person I'm potentially having a negative impact on. And someone else worded it to me in a way that really made me take a hard look at myself in the way I trash Tau. They're like mortal wounds. You can't make saves. But they said that, you know, as aggressively as I trash the Tau, it's almost the equivalent of, like, without directing it at any one person, bullying someone for liking their faction that they like. And I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Okay, I get it. You can trash the army without trashing the person. I mean, there's a line there. You don't want to injure the person. You don't want to hurt the person, you know, and you don't want to make it personal. You're like, oh, you play Tau? Oh, you're one of those people? Okay, you'll never have friends. You know, you don't want to be that person. But I mean, I personally think it's okay to say, you know what, I'm not a big fan of Tau. I'm okay if you are. No shade at all. Enjoy it. But I personally will not play or play against anybody with Tau.
And okay, so Meeks and Superfly there, you know, I totally get that. And trash talk, healthy trash talk, is definitely part of the game or anything competitive.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, I think sometimes when I'm talking about the Tau, I get past the point of, you know, poking fun, and I start getting a little bit into venomous territory. So I appreciate the transparency, Mythos. Thank you. A trash talk between friends is fine, but people telling you won't play them if they use certain things is just whack.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, I have had a policy for years that I don't normally play the Tau, but it's not like, I just refuse to play. I'm like, you know what? You go ahead and take the victory.
Right? I wouldn't even pull my models out. Just, you got to win, buddy.
Mythos hides anime body pillow. You Tau tweeps are the worst. No, I will come right out and tell you. I'm an anime pleb. I spent all week watching My Hero Academia with my little girls because I wanted to watch it, not because my kids wanted to watch it. So, you know, I tell you guys all the time, I'm an anime dude. Mythos and the Armed Forces trash talk each other as bad as we knew, and 40K too. I mean, yeah, and that's definitely understandable. I have said for many years I won't play Tau. I'm still not sure I want to play the Tau, but I'm going to try and be less venomous about talking about the Tau. And you know, if a friend wanted to play me with their Tau, like Atlas doesn't have his Tau anymore. He sold them. But I'm just saying, Atlas, Brother Rob, Brother Richard.
Crap! There's. Speaking of.
Oh my God.
He just popped the moment you said it. He's done that every time. The moment you say his name, Robert, he just shows up.
If he weren't one of the most religious people I know, I'd quote the phrase, "Speak of the devil and they shall appear."
Right? Oh man, he's like, man, somebody. It just pops out of nowhere. Hi there, Rob. Hi. We're just chit-chatting, talking about the Tau.
Yeah, they were friends. The stuff you was reading, right? Telling your friend you won't play them. That's what somebody was telling me of an experience someone in their area had. Yeah. Railgun laser sight appears on Mythos' garage. Oh, okay, you should have a representative on the show. Definitely. We should definitely set something up because we haven't had you on the show in forever. What if you beat the Tau Mythos? And you know what? I mean, that's possible. It has been. I have grown as a player since the last time I played against the Tau. However, like, the reason I don't play Tau now is just because the losses I have suffered from the Tau, and the last time was in a tournament where my 4 matches were, my 5 matches were 3 Tau players and 2. It was called the War Convocation at the time. It was when you mixed Mechanus at the time, the other side of the Mechanus. It was 2 factions of Mechanus, Skitarii, Mechanus, Skitarii, and Imperial Knights. And if you had all 3 factions on the table, they all buffed each other.
Oof.
So that was a big thing. And then, of course, I played in 8th edition, but you guys know the early 8th edition meta was you spam 500 Tau drones and crisis suits and Cold Star commanders or whatever, and you can't deal any damage because everything is shield droned. Which, by the way, the shield drones have been brought in line. We'll be talking about those later on. You want salt? Ooh. These are. What if you beat the Tau? So, anyways, I mean, the losses I had there were definitely some balance issues at the time. I mean, I'm not saying there's not going to be balance issues now because some of these things I'm looking at scare me. But you're right. What if I do beat the Tau? I mean, like I said, I have grown as a player since then.
Yeah, but what would your psyche be? I mean, what will your mental state be the moment you start setting out your models, getting ready to roll dice against the Tau player, and all you remember is getting tabled, by Tau. It won't feel good.
Turn 2, yeah.
Yeah, the only thing you can think of is, the scarring that you obtain after playing or getting tabled the first couple of times, The
last time I played against the Tau, my army was shot off the table easily, and before that, I was Tau in 5th edition. Yes, that's exactly what happened to me. Is I just kept getting blown off the table. Turn 2. We played an 1800 game in 7th edition, where it was 1800 points, and over 900 points were blown off the table turn 1. So, like I said, I am aware, and actually, I think when I actually took the time to type it out, I actually took the time and put some thought into it, and I said, okay, so and I said, you're right, everyone should have the right to like whatever faction they like. I've personally been left feeling weak and powerless to the point, and Freak, you remember I was thinking about quitting the game at the time.
Oh yeah,
based on my own experience with the Tau.
Yep, you really was.
Taking a hard look at myself, I realized that it's my own personal failing. My play style, my list building has been ineffective against them. It's not that the Tau are ridiculously underbalanced. It's my own personal play style, and I am personally inept against the Tau. I shouldn't try and make anyone else dislike them because of my own failings. So it's absolutely right. Everyone should like whatever they like. Show us on the
Emotional damage
in the butthole. Anyways, pray to the dice gods. I mean, it depends on dice most of the time. You want salt? They make Space Wolves good, and GW sets COVID-19 loss on the world, and we can't play until Tau are a better army. And man, I miss touch. What was it? Call of the Wild, Touch of the Wild. There was like no games going on in the space between when Touch of the Wild came out and when 9th edition came out, and it was like we had this badass stratagem where our Wolf Lords could get extra exploding hits on 4+ for like 2 command points. And then, of course, it was good for like 6 beautiful months. 9th edition came out. They're like, this is going to be the first stratagem to go off into Neverland. I was like, aw. Blown under the table. Blown under the table. What is this? Conference room? What is this? A conference room gaming table? There's a faction in Lord of the Rings I can't play because people will hate me. It is universally accepted that the faction is broken, but I just like the models. Oh, man, I understand. That is a bad feeling, and that's why I'm trying to be less hateful. Superfly. Oh, that's how I felt when I used to play a friend versus his Marines. Just seemed overpowered AF. Thing is, most factions can spam broken strats anyways. If you don't like a faction, it's game. You don't need to like everything. Just not the people making people uncomfortable is always going to be priority.
Yeah.
Touch it. Touch my wildly. Oh no, he said touch of the wild. It's good to be positive. It's admirable for you to be inclusive in this way. We also want you to speak your mind. Don't feel muzzled when you have strong opinions about 40K. Thank you, Marcos. I'm going to try and speak my opinion, speak my mind on my opinions without being venomous. That's my.
There you go. There you go.
I'm not going to be afraid to disagree, like some of some things, like some of the news that's going to come up. But yeah, I'm just going to try not to be venomous. All right. Speaking of which, I guess
we can go right into it. Why not?
Yeah. Let me. Do you mind showing some of those pictures?
Yeah.
Well, before that, my hobby update. You're going to see a bunch of pictures of things. I've been in build mode. I started on an impulsor. Right now, I have. I found a couple of really, really cheap eBay lots where there were pieces. So I've got the whole. God, I've got the whole or the chassis now, and I've got the gun bits coming. I'm gonna need Freak's gonna probably gonna hook me up with some hatches for the top. And I need a shield dome for the top. And then there's a really cool where you can, instead of having this look like a pickup truck, there's an STL for a back on Thingiverse or whatnot that you can use to make it a closed vehicle. So that way it can be a little less pickup truck. I'm going to get it enclosed. And yeah, I'll get this impulsor finish. I also painted up 2 pieces of wrecked Imperial Guard tank terrain. This is how they came out. I'm really pleased with the way they came out. I love the shading and whatnot. I was going to make it super dirty with like streaking grime and stuff like that, but then after I highlighted them and I did those pretty airbrush highlights, I'm like, I like this too much. Get wrecked. Get some rest, my brother. Get some rest. Get to the doctor if you need to. One way or another. Feel better soon, my man. Positive is overrated. Weatherpig says, I want to apologize for the Warhammer GW rant. I realized the issue was with me and deleted the video.
What?
Oh, one of Weatherpig's videos. He talked about why he.
No, I remembered that one. I remember that one.
I felt like you did it in a professional way.
I didn't think it was.
I didn't feel like, yeah, it seemed like personal taste.
Yeah, I didn't think it was, toxic or anything. So.
Any good eBay sellers to look for and bits or boxes? One I get from a lot where I can just get like inexpensive bits and pieces at a time. Let me take a look. It's a name I see a lot on stuff. Normally I'm just looking for like, lowest price, but there's one name that's come up several times. And even I made the mistake of like getting a couple of small, like $3 bits, but then there was also like $3 for shipping. Refunded me one of my bits of $3 for shipping to say, hey, I don't know if you realize you ordered a couple things from the same person, but I'm just going to put all this in one envelope and, give you some of your shipping back.
That's cool.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. Okay, so talk to me about this.
So this right here is the rest of the Prophecy of the Wolf box. I built up Ragnar and 2 squads of incursors, and I got to use them in a game with Atlas, and it was interesting playing a more tactical style game, having incursors hiding in terrain, holding objectives, have Ragnar kind of sneaking around the table instead of just, usually I put melee units on the front line and just have them go. And it was interesting. I also built up half of my Indomitus box. So I built 3 units, or 3 models in the back you're going to recognize. Know what they are?
Aha.
So 3 Eradicators in the back, 4 Blade Guard veterans in the middle.
Where's your double? I don't see it. Are they all 3 singles?
Yeah, they're all single. Out of the Indomitus box, you don't get the multi-melta.
Oh, okay.
You only get 3 rifles.
I got you.
4 Blade Guard veterans and the Judiciary, the Chaplain, and the Ancient. The Blade Guard are going to go in my Space Wolves. The Meltas and the Judiciary are going into my Space Wolves. The Chaplain, Ancient, and the Eradicators are all going in my Ultramarine. So I'm just going to stick them on the shelf until I'm ready to paint those up.
Very nice.
Mythos didn't have time to paint them, spent too much time on his town. Man, I assembled like 30 models this week and still had time to paint up terrain. I have been in a hobby groove, my man. And I had a game this week. Still need to paint up my Ragnar. Man, I can't wait to see you paint up your Ragnar. That's why I'm trying to crank out mine now, because once I see how beautiful yours is, I'm going to be like, I guess I can't paint that. Meeks might be joining us for the hangout later. That's cool. Wow Freak looks at his chat and says, huh, are they all single? Is everyone in the chat single? I'm just checking. So this is one of the scenes earlier. You see that is his company commander by the dice there laying down. She charged at the dreadnought with her power fist, and I spent the point to Overwatch. Freak, man, I was rolling hot. I rolled 8 6s.
Wow.
To gun down his company commander.
Yeah. And you know what? The sad part about it is poor Atlas had my luck. Poor guy.
Yeah, he did. 30 models and gaming. Sounds like it was a great week, my brother. But so here is my Razorback. I had moved up onto his back line to let my blood claws out. You can kind of see one of my blood claws standing in front of that tank wreck over there. And in this corner is they're gray. He just got them like literally, this week and assembled them. So they're still gray, but those are Gaunt's ghosts, which I'm going to be painting up for his birthday.
Very nice.
What? Mythos with lucky rolls? Did he also get free pie?
Oh, don't get me started.
That was the board before we got started. I was pleased. Also, that little gaming table I have, turns out one side you can see just one half of that gaming table easily fits one of the smaller maps for the 1,000-point games.
Nice. Was this folded underneath or something, or how's that work? Oh, it's attachable.
It's a 2 separate pieces. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool.
Poor Atlas has had freak's luck on his birthday. Mythos laughing. Yeah, I did. No.
That's exactly what I heard.
His birthday is not until we do our 40K and barbecue on the 23rd.
Poor Atlas.
Weather Pig saying, Freak looking at the chat saying, are they all single? And Miniatures Paintbrush goes, this seat's taken. That's just the table looking from the long ways. This was the deployment. So it was a weird deployment. We just rolled for which of the 1,000-point missions we were going to do. And it was a weird table quarters kind of deployment. So poor Atlas, one of the things that was kind of against him, he's used to being able to deploy across the back of his deployment zone. Since it was table quarters, though, he had to fit all 3 of his tanks and all that infantry in just 1 quarter. And so they were kind of all smushed together, which was great for me because my last cannon had shots.
This is a great table, but also notice the dead rat out on the floor. That just made a point. Just kidding.
That's Commander's little fox toy.
Let's see.
Man, I was watching my brother the Pickle Jar try some of that Pro Acryl transparent paint on his live stream Wednesday. That stuff looks really good. It's kind of contrasty in the way that it acts as a filter on top of other stuff, but it's like if you took a contrast paint and an ink together, and it makes a beautiful filter. So if anybody's interested in trying that new Pro Acryl transparent, it's nice. Yeah, just a closer shot of his deployment from another angle. Again, super cramped in the table quarters. Space Wolves being an elite army, though, I had plenty of room. I took 2 squads of Incursors. I took Ragnar, the Leviathan, the Redemptor, a Razorback, and then a full squad of Blood Claws with a Wolf Guard. The Wolf Guard had been upgraded to a Thane, so he had Frost Claws. And the pack leader had a Frost Axe. Just that way they could, if I needed more AP. Oh, wow, that can thing is a tank. Yes, it's called a Hellhound. That big can is just pure flamer fuel, and it has a long distance flamer that gets a lot of hits, and it's pretty awesome. A little Ragnar peeking around the terrain there. I like that shanty building. So like the shanty building itself is a piece that we got from Grumpy Guy Gaming, great guy. And then like the war trench piece underneath it is built by Atlas himself. I have tried it and had issues with it, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. When I saw it used, it was just the filter. So like a good zenithal seemed to work with it, and a wet palette. So that way it really helped bring out the transparent qualities that seemed to work for Pickle. Looked good though. This was when one of his squads charged my Razorback. The Razorback, by the way, did some work between its las cannons and the Hunter Killer missile. Brought the Hellhound down to 1 wound on the first turn. It was pretty awesome.
Wow.
But then his infantry charged it. And so when my turn came around, the Razorback backed up and let the Blood Claws go to work. Made short work of those guys. And I killed them with just the chainsword attacks. Like the bosses didn't even need to get involved. My Leviathan came over here, popped one of the basilisks, and eventually took out a whole bunch of infantry. Man, those heavy flamers in the chest roasted like 30 guards on their own.
Wow.
Some of those on his turn. I mean, you Overwatch with heavy flamers against a 5-up save, and usually works out pretty well. I need to finish doing the decals and varnishing that up so I can call that one done. Its arms just look kind of naked without the decals. Interesting tactic. So that dreadnought stayed in my deployment zone, just outside of my deployment zone for most of the game, because every turn he kept feeding another infantry squad into it, making a speed bump. So my dread could fire into the squad that it was fighting against, but really couldn't go anywhere or take any objectives or whatnot. It was a good little tactic. Yeah. Just my incursors taking an objective. Ragnar and incursors taking another objective, and one of his platoon commanders is right underneath Ragnar. So Ragnar ended up pouncing on him in the next turn. That's it from the other angle. Ragnar prepared to pounce. It was ridiculous. I did like 20 damage to a 3-wound platoon commander.
Oh my goodness.
It was a little bit of overkill. This was Pog right here. This is what changed the game. So I chose to ignore Gaunt's ghosts over here and come fight Sergeant Harker, which was on that objective, because Sergeant Harker was giving, well, first of all, his autocannon payback was really leaving some big dents in my dreadnought down the way, but also was giving reroll bonuses to the basilisk there, and that shit needed to stop. So I went and pounced on Sergeant Harker, and then I did a 3-inch consolidation. And that brought me right within range of the objective that was underneath that basilisk. So that was play of the game, because the Blood Claws are troop choices. So I stole the objective out from underneath him. I denied him 15 points in his turn and gained 15 points in my turn. So that changed the whole match around right there. You'll notice up top here, where in the middle of the screen where Sly Marlborough is, you can barely see him blending in with the trenches, as he should. He and the company commander were in combat with the Leviathan. company commander used her power fist and punched out a Leviathan
Damn.
in his turn. It was pretty impressive to see. And that company commander, she's laying down there in front of the dreadnought that she charged, or the Redemptor she charged. But I mean, so far it's scored a legend in every game he's played her in. She punched out a Leviathan dreadnought. Now she punched out a war boss with the Killer Claw. She used her plasma gun and took the last 2 wounds off a Xiphon interceptor, shot it out of the sky. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, so like she's done something legendary at every game. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, that was play of the game right there. That wrapped things up in a nice little bow. Gaunt's Ghost doing work. So Gaunt's Ghost seemed like a pretty interesting unit in the way they function, if anyone's curious. The sniper is really good and did consistent damage throughout the whole game. Try Again Bragg did consistent damage throughout the whole game. And the rest were kind of utility. Like one gave them a +1 cover or +2 cover save as long as he's alive, gives the unit +2 cover save, and his squad is -1 to hit if you shoot at them, and they can't be targeted unless they're within 18 inches. So, you know, they kind of get like camouflage buffs there. So most of the guys are utility, but as far as damage goes, Atlas said if he could just take the sniper and the autocannon guy instead of taking all 6 of them, he would. That's something to consider. The other thing he mentioned is that they're kind of a liability because if your opponent takes Assassinate and you've got Gaunt's Ghosts, you have at minimum 6 characters, right? And so Assassinate's going to rack up big points.
Space Wolves turn 1. I fired all of my shooting,
Yep.
and I've just fired my rocket pods from the Redemptor here to take off this last wound. It's gone through. There has been 1 failed roll. He's spent to reroll. He's even changed dice. It comes down to this on the first turn. Oh, it goes down.
Yeah.
It is the end.
Poor guy. Yeah. Those are my rolls.
Man, it having a Basilisk not be able to shoot stuff down and earn points first turn was big. So me taking it out first turn definitely was one of the turning points. Also, his living Basilisk, usually he runs 2, so that way if 1 whiffs, he's got redundancy, right? But the one died and the other one whiffed. 100% whiff, did no wounds the first turn. So it was it was pretty like I had a cushy first turn and dealt a lot of damage back to him. So Mythos, when did you bring on the Tau? Look, I'm trying not to be salty about the Tau. That doesn't mean I'm playing Tau. Oh, I was looking up this information. Guys, I'm sorry. I've got bad ADD. Superfly wanted to know if I had a good bits seller that I buy from, and one I've been using a lot is order summary. Berry Bird is one that I've been buying from a lot lately. Usually really cheap prices and pretty cheap shipping. And another one is Fuchi, Fuchi. It's another one.
Don't call me names.
So yeah, that was my game. So like I said, I got a whole bunch of models put together this week, painted 2 pieces of terrain, and started the Impulsor build. And yeah, so I got a lot of hobbying this week. Now, you ready to talk about that Tau?
Let's do it, man. Let's see.
Mythos is trying not to be salty about the Tau, so he is delaying covering the new leaks. He may delay until next stream. All right, so Frank, how's Marley been?
All right, let's see. There we go. Close some stuff here. There we go. Wow, that's a hell of a claim.
What's the claim?
Need to vaporize an Imperial Knight in one shot?
It can do it, brother.
Wow.
It can do it.
Pulse Blast Cannon has you covered. Wow, in one shot, huh?
Yep. So I'm going to talk about the downsides of the. We're going to cover the news about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about the downsides of it, but then also where I was shown the light. So.
Okay.
All right.
All right now. You need a brown paper bag to breathe in? You good?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
I've got this amazing community here.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the news. We're going to agree or disagree with GW and each other, but at the end of the day, we're going to be like, you know what? I love you, my brother. We hobby brothers. We hobby family. So whether or not we agree or disagree about the Tau, it's all good.
All right, then. Well, if the hubbub caused by the latest Tau Empire railgun improvements is anything to go by, the 41st millennium is going to love all their other big and scary guns. The lumbering Storm Surge carries one such weapon, which is so big and heavy that the Firecast were initially hesitant to send it into action. Say hello to the new Strength 16, Damage 12 Pulse Blast Cannon, which packs an awesome punch in the upcoming Codex Tau Empire. Strength 16, Damage 12.
So that is wounding on twos at anything in the game. Damage 12.
Damage.
Damage 12.
Damage
12. That's amazing. And it shoots two shots. So it can theoretically it can wound an Imperial Knight on twos. And in one shot, with both of its attacks, in one shot, it can take out an Imperial Knight.
Acting rather like a colossal shotgun, the Pulse Blast Cannon can lob its payload over long ranges, but it really shines when concentrating its immense power into a close-range blast. Although it lacks the shield-busting power of the Hammerhead railgun's hypersonic slugs. Oh, really? Oh, that lacks? It lacks the shield-busting power. Mythos, it lacks it.
You'll see why when we get to talking about the railgun.
With a whopping strength 16, it will still wreak plenty of havoc on even the sturdiest targets, knights or even titans included. Okay, here are the stats, baby.
That goes straight through Ramshackle. It really does. And it's so weird that Ramshackle only works on things up to strength 7. I feel like GW are releasing things that are more hype than the last over being balanced. Yeah, that the codex creep is real. Every new codex has to be the big new thing. You're right. So I mean, I'm excited for Imperial Guard because if it keeps going up in scale every codex, Atlas's Imperial Guard are going to be amazing by the time they get to his codex.
Yeah, at least comparable,
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. So here you are. Focus shot. You can do a range 24 inches, which that's pretty close range. Heavy 2 at 2 shots, strength 16, -4 AP, 12 damage.
Minus how many AP, brother?
Minus, oh, dude.
Minus how many, my brother?
Minus 4.
One more time. Minus how many, my brother?
All I see is a -4.
So we're wounding on 2s automatically.
Automatically. You cannot save this. You cannot save.
-4s.
from...
Theoretically, keeping it positive.
Oh. Okay.
If you had a 2-up save,
yeah.
like a Terminator, you might save on a 6. I don't know why you would shoot the heavy shot at a Terminator. But if you had a 2-up save, and if you had a 2-up and save and cover, you might get a 5. So,
Yep.
Now,
Wow.
that is aggravating, but okay, so this is a vehicle killer. What's next?
Okay, so that's just the focus shot, right? Hold on, I need to respond to the wife about my daughter.
Sure. I'm pretty sure by the time the codex is out for my Chaos Demons, we'll have the Sneeze of Corn, strength 16, -6 blast. You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
Y'all can use
It'll
that
be
to
like the time
destroy
that
this.
Superman sneezed and accidentally blew the Earth out of orbit. Which is, by the way, canon.
All right, so the Dispersed Shot, this is a 48-inch range. This is almost, pretty close
Most
to
of the board, right?
Most of the board. It's a heavy 6 shots.
Oh, surely you said D6, right?
Heavy 6.
Oh, just heavy 6. Oh,
Heavy
okay.
6.
Okay,
Six
okay.
shots. You don't roll to
Oh, okay.
shoot these. You use six shots, somehow fly out of this thing.
Okay,
6.
well, I mean, but surely if it's got 6 shots and it's the dispersed means weaker, right?
Right.
So surely it's going to be a
Right.
more manageable strength, right?
Well, so the strength is just slightly dimmed to 12 versus 16 from the focus shot.
Oh.
Yes. So it just yeah, I mean, they
Okay.
really dropped it down significantly from 16 to 12, and the AP, instead of AP -4, well, heck, now you got it halved at -2.
But a dispersed shot is usually like an infantry killer, right? So it's not going to be a lot of damage, right?
No. This one's only 4 damage.
4 damage.
4 damage. Yeah.
So you're saying this thing's dispersed shot is the same amount of damage that Gazgul's claws can do?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
4 damage at
Oh.
48-inch range.
You know what?
I
It's
guess
all good. It's all good. You know what? I'm not going to be salty about this.
This is positive news.
I had it brought to my attention that a squad of eradicators are only about 150 points. And because they have that double tap ability, the eradicators can put out this kind of damage. It looks scary because of the damage 12. You just see the big number all at once.
Mm-hmm.
But the cumulative total of eradicators, especially shooting twice, can add up to this much or more. So the 24 damage that a knight can do, theoretically, a squad of eradicators can do that same amount of damage. And I think when you blew up my bone breaker, it was a similar amount of damage. It was like 24 damage.
Mm-hmm.
So I am freaking out, but this is going to be on a big, important model, right? And I actually have the numbers for you here in a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and skip over just because people want to know. Everybody was looking at this thing and kind of freaking out, like, what is the points going to be?
Right.
So this thing with its weapons is going to be not with its weapons. Base is going to be 330 points.
Okay.
So while I want to freak out because the big number 12 is scary to look at, right? Eradicators can put out the same amount of damage for half the cost.
Yeah.
So it is scary to look at, but realistically, the Space Marines have just as much advantage. So
That's fair.
the Dispersed Shot really surprised me because that means in one turn of shooting, you can have a max squad of 6 Thunderwolf cavalry.
Mm-hmm.
And the 4 damage piece means each shot can kill a Thunderwolf.
Yeah.
But again, if taking Eradicators as one of the premier shooting choices in the entire game, not just for Space Marines, they have to roll for it, but they can do 4 damage to each Thunderwolf. And if you do the double tap, because they're all, they would all have to commit to the Thunderwolf. They do the double tap, and that's still 6 shots with the double tap. So theoretically, they could take out a full 6 squad of Thunderwolves as well. So again, it's scary to look at, but theoretically, Space Marines have the same option. So,
pray that you get to go first.
Yeah, that's kind of what this comes down to as far as that kind of damage.
Yeah. But there's more to this. So, it says when you have enough firepower at your disposal to terrify Imperial Knights, you'll want to make sure that your shots hit. The Earth cast couldn't agree more, and Storm Surges are thus equipped with retractable anchors to absorb the massive recoil. By deploying these in lieu of moving, pilots can significantly improve their accuracy. So, deploy anchors, this is an action, at the start of your movement phase. Any number of Storm Surge models from your army can start to perform this action. The action is completed at the start of your next shooting phase. If this action is successfully completed until the end of the phase, each time this model makes a ranged attack, you can re-roll the hit roll.
That is so good. I do want to point out that this has been buffed because in previous editions, stabilizing anchors had a downside. Before, if you stabilize the anchors, the Storm Surge couldn't move the next turn and it couldn't make any combat attacks. But this has been buffed to have the rerolls with no downsides. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, just
all I'm hearing is I need another Fellblade. And that's that would be awesome. The scary thing, again, same thing with Eradicators. The scary thing though is that this thing can do 24 damage in a single shot.
Yeah.
Theoretically blowing up the Fellblade in one shot. So that's what's scary about it. It's just big numbers. I sometimes get salty at how scary the named heroes are in Lord of the Rings, good armies, but I just need to learn to exploit the amount of points they're sinking into that hero. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Can you take shield drones with this model? I am going to come back to that, Brother Meeks. I have a great answer for you. Let's get through the 2 articles, and then we'll go through the changes, and I'll be able to answer that question there.
Okay. The Pulse Blast Cannon is the only option that you have available for annihilating elite infantry at extreme range. The Pulse Driver Cannon is your go-to instrument of destruction, but you'll need to wait for the arrival of the Codex Tau Empire to find out how just good it is. All right, so such a large war machine is naturally a big target on the battlefield, so no expense has been spared protecting it from enemy fire. Improvements to its toughness, wounds, and save join a built-in shield generator. Of course. While a total redesign of the counterfire defense system now unlocks a powerful stratagem that nullifies attacks before they even reach the armored shell.
Nullifies attacks? Wow.
Tell me
I'm
more.
sorry. I'm being an ass. I'm sorry. I'm going to try and keep it positive. I'm going to try not to be facetious while doing so.
All right. This is called Counterfire Defense System, 1 CP or 2 CP. So, use this stratagem in your opponent's shooting phase when an attack is allocated to a Counterfire Defense System model from your army. The damage characteristics of that attack is changed to 1. That model has a wounds characteristics of 14 or more. This stratagem costs 2 CPs. Otherwise, it costs 1 CP. So regardless, that attack
it's going to be expensive because the Riptide and the Storm Surge are both more than 14 wounds.
Mm-hmm.
So they're both going to cost 2 CP. So at least it's fine, Mythos, if you can question the decisions of the rule makers. That's fair. Okay, so this is frustratingly powerful. However, there is some counterplay, and this is one of the things that as an opponent, you really got to watch. You use the stratagem in your opponent's shooting phase when an attack is allocated to the counterfire defense system. Okay, so first of all, they got to call it when they shoot or when you shoot. So before, when they had stuff like this, they could do stuff like this when they were like, that's damage 6 last cannon. Don't want to take it, right? But now you can say, I'm going to shoot my last cannon at this, and them saying, that's D6 damage. I don't want to take it. They got to spend it. And that they could theoretically waste it because you might roll and hit, you might roll and miss.
Right.
So even if they miss, they already spent 2 CP for it. So it's expensive, and they don't even know that you were going to make that. So it's got high risk, high reward. Now, if you have a beautiful, again, going back to your eradicators, you got that beautiful 2 dammy. This is where I don't know my rules well enough. I imagine that the incoming attack, I don't know if that's like, theoretically, you're supposed to roll your dice 1 at a time, right? So I don't know if it's like the whole squad of eradicators shooting at it, or if you would say just specifically the guy with the multi-melta, the double tap guy. I think, right, Kaiju says, and they can shoot it with a second unit. They've burned the 2 CP, and now they're vulnerable. You're absolutely right. So this seems scary, because it'd be like, man, I have 8 damage from this melta I just shot, and boom, he burned it to 1. Right. But at the same time, it's a high risk, and they might not even work, right? And so you've got it right on the head, Kaiju. As long as you are aware of that, and you got to stick with it. Now, this is me a lot. I am Mr. Nice Guy when I'm playing against my friends, especially, well, even when I'm not playing against my friends. When I have random pickup games at the shop, it's just in my nature. When somebody's like, oh, I forgot to declare so-and-so, can I go back and do this? I do that all the time. Like, hey, man, I forgot this, but, I haven't done anything else yet. Can I fix this real quick? And friends do it to me too. I feel like if your friend is playing this, you may want to have that conversation ahead of time.
Yeah.
The defense system, I'm going to need you to call this in advance. And then you have that conversation with them. And then you go and you roll your 6 dammies for 6 or 8 dammies for a melta. And they're like, oh, I meant to play the stratagem. That gets into a gray area because you got to declare when the shot is made.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can look back in retrospect and say, hey, I meant to avoid 8 dammies, right? But, if they didn't know that you were going to roll a 1 or an 8, then it gets more, you got to keep it fair, right?
Yeah. Consistency. You're right.
Getting people to burn their CP to protect their fave unit seems to be a great strat in games I see. Then in a turn or two, they're stuck in where everything. Exactly.
I like that.
It's A, expensive, and B, a risk. So again, this looks scary, but I think this is actually balanced okay. Now, to balance this even further, now that we've talked about that, I'm going to go back and answer Brother Meeks' question.
Okay.
So what has been the bane of us trying to shoot at Riptides and Storm Surges in the past is every time you shoot at the damn things, their shield drones soak up all the wounds, right? And you're like, I can't get any damage through this, and this thing is wiping out my army. Well, now they have that stratagem that we just talked about that can save some damage, but after that stratagem, they're vulnerable, right? On top of that, the rule that lets a shield drone tank for another model, by the way, is called Savior Protocols. Now, Savior Protocols, it's now a stratagem, not a built-in special rule. So they can only do that once per turn because they got to spend the stratagem. You can't use the same stratagem twice. That's something to consider. And just like before, the drones got to be within 3 inches or 6 inches if they're using a controller. The drone dies as part of the stratagem. Now, remember in 7th and 8th, one of the things that used to happen is the drones would soak up all their damage and then make the feel no pain, and it was like infinite drones, right? Now the drone dies as part of the stratagem, so there's a limited amount of times these things are going to be coming back. And my favorite part of this new rule change is Riptides and Storm Surges cannot use this rule. That's my favorite part. So I initially, Halo, Daz, my brothers. Those are some beautiful lads there. So initially I was freaking out because I saw that 12 damage. I saw the AP -4. I saw that you got 6 shots on a 4 damage. It's a lot of damage, I'm not going to lie. And I saw that ability to shut down your damage and make it 1 damage. And I freaked out at first, but when I see that has to be used before your opponent sees the damage coming through. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, it's balanced to me by the fact that big vehicles like Riptides and Storm Surges can't take the Savior protocols. That to me is big. So yeah, it's a lot of damage, but they're more balanced than they used to be. They're glass cannons now. They can deal out a lot of damage, but they're going to be easier to damage than before. Now, on that note, though, they're going to go up to toughness 8. So they're going to be harder to wound, and I think that's fair for the fact that I can actually deal some wounds now.
Right.
So I'm okay with that. So,
well, they're more expensive. Yeah, they're more expensive, and of course, it's going to cost them more to.
They're only 5 points more expensive, but I think they've balanced them okay. And as my brother Big D pointed out to me, yeah, it's 4 or 12 damage, but what if your Venerable Dreadnought, or what if your Thunderwolf tanks that on his Storm Shield, you make your invulnerable save, and you're like, I didn't feel 12 of nothing. So that's a good point. So, I mean, it is intimidating.
Would you get your invul? I mean,
on this, yes.
Okay.
Because no matter how much the AP is, your invulnerable save will always protect you.
Gotcha.
Until we take a look at this next article. Let's look at the railgun.
All right. Because all this is just giving me
emotional damage.
Emotional damage. I think this mentality will help you in games too. Look at how many counters, plays we already have planned for this. I appreciate that. And like I said, I'm trying not to have that knee-jerk reaction. And I think, trying to look at this with open eyes, I think you're right. By being able to talk about it and look at the balance, I'm getting to see what I can do about these things. And it's going to avoid what I always hated about playing the Tau before was I felt powerless and helpless, right? Like nothing I did made any difference. But now I can look at this and I can see what can I do about this.
Oof.
Guns are still line of sight too. They're obviously going to wreck face if you're standing there in front of them. Absolutely. And the terrain rules are better in this edition. So, and there's supposed to be more terrain. So,
all right.
Yeah. Kalo, I love that. I'm glad, brother.
So, popular with proponents of both the Montka and Kalyan philosophies, rail weapons use magnetic fields of fire. I don't care. The Firecast use several varieties from the Pathfinder's rail rifles to the heavy rail cannons of the Manta missile destroyer. But it's the Hammerhead's railgun that all others are compared to. Here we are. Range 72 inches. Heavy 1. Strength 14.
Mm-hmm.
AP. Why? Why did he have to do a -6? I don't understand that.
So that way, even if you're a 2-up in cover,
you're screwed. You're hosed. You're vaporized. Instant.
It is the definitive. Whatever it shoots at,
it destroys. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no, but the dammies, it's D3 plus 6. It's not enough at 6 damage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can add whatever D3 is there.
So at minimum 7 damage, at maximum 9.
Yeah, exactly. That's okay. Not bad for, you know, a one shot, but that's a one shot wonder at strength 14.
Yeah. Kaiju says laughs in Horde army. So that's actually kind of my concern, is that a lot of this edition, they keep giving us cool new tanks. Let's take the Gladiator tanks. Let's take you know, the new speeders that we got. You know, we got cool new tanks this edition. At the end of last edition, we got the repulsor with the cannon thing. Repulsor Executioner.
Yes.
You know, we got some cool tanks, and you know, there's some cool like vehicles in the orc meta now, and I feel like what's getting more and more, especially with Space Marines, for example, though what GW is kind of pushing us to is the Indominus mindset, where everything walks across the field and shoots each other. Like, they keep giving us vehicles, but to me, if we take into account things like our Space Marines Eradicators, the Eradicators are cool. Mini Warmutt, my brother. This railgun that will delete any vehicle it sneezes in the general direction of. That Storm Surge we were looking at, which is designed to one-shot an Imperial Knight. Are we going to go into a world where vehicles are just not good to take? I mean, people have been saying for a couple editions now that, like 8th edition, people are saying it really isn't worth it to take tanks. 9th edition, when vehicles lost the core key, or, you know, like they did the whole core keyword thing and vehicles didn't have them, they're like, I mean, it really just makes it you know, more worth it to buff a squad of Eradicators and Suppressors than to actually bring a tank with these weapons, right?
Right.
So if we keep doing this, is it even going to be worth it to tank a cool tank? I mean, obviously, I'm still going to bring a tank because they
Sure.
and because, you know, I mean, we don't play against the I mean, the Eradicators do take out my vehicles pretty well. They do a good job of that. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's just like, what's going to make taking tanks any good, you know?
Right.
And I'm painting up my Imperial Knight army, and I'm still going to paint up my Imperial Knight army. This isn't going to stop me. But what about the Imperial Knights players? They gave a small, you know, they gave a little bit of an objective buff to Knights recently. But who's going to play Knights when one shot from a Storm Surge cannon, or somebody's got 3 of these railguns on hammerheads across the field that are just one-shotting their, you know, just like can just delete Imperial Knights? Like, how are Imperial, like, I can understand a Marine army can switch to Marines walking across the field. Orcs can switch to Horde armies. But I'm like, I see what you did there, Mythos. That's good, because I didn't see it. As a new player, sounds like whether to take a tank would be or not would be the terrain, right? And of course, yeah, it's always good to have the conversation with your opponent beforehand. What's our terrain going to be like? You know, is there going to be enough terrain for me to have a tank? But then you can go too far in the other direction too. You can go too far in the other direction too. D was telling me about a tournament that he actually played in, and somebody brought a Fellblade, but because there was so much terrain on the table, he couldn't drive it anywhere. He had stayed in his deployment zone the whole game, couldn't get line of sight on anything, couldn't drive it around because there was so much terrain. It was trapped in his own deployment zone, and it didn't even get a shot off all game, which is kind of scary. Now, we cheat a little bit, and I say cheat. I think everybody should be having this kind of conversation with their opponent. But Freak and I tell each other when we're going to be bringing. Oh yeah, sorry. The beeps is. I need to mute my messenger.
No,
sorry.
that was me too. That was me.
Okay. But Freak and I always have the conversation ahead of time, where we say, okay, how much terrain are we going to have? Did you bring any tanks? Did I bring any tanks? Okay, if somebody brought tanks, let's make sure that we leave clear lanes for our tanks to drive down through, you know, that kind of thing. And so the conversation with your opponent ahead of time has got to be a key part of what you do. But yeah, you absolutely can go too far in the terrain direction where your tanks can't even do what they need to. So just something to keep in mind. So, anyways, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Freak. It was just kind of like us talking about the railgun. It is a vehicle killer. The Storm Surge we were talking about, it's a vehicle killer. And it just made me think like, oh, God, taking vehicles kind of tough now, you know? Like, not just with the Tau, but like the more of these like high damage weapons that are becoming more and more prevalent. I mean, it's easy to spam Dark Lances now for Dark Eldar because of how cheap they are on Venoms and their transports, right?
Right.
Of course, like we talked about, the Space Marines have the Eradicators, and just like, you know, more and more of these factions are just getting easier access to these high damage weapons, which are great, but then like, are we going to be able to keep using vehicles in the future? You know, it's just interesting to think about for the future.
Okay, so there are a few things to break down here. Within an AP of -6 and the ability to ignore invul saves, your payload will be making it through almost any kind of energy field, demonic protection, or battle plate that might stand in its way.
So that's why that other article you looked at said it doesn't have the armor punching power, because this will ignore invul saves.
Right. Once that shot hits home, it delivers eye-watering damage with the potential to knock out vehicles and large monsters in a single shot. With such a powerful single slug, connecting with each shot is crucial. So the Hammerhead has an advanced targeting array that pairs well with the new marker lights rules. Yay!
I'm going to talk about that here in a minute too.
Okay, targeting array. Each time this unit's Hammerhead model is selected to shoot, you can re-roll one hit roll when resolving its attacks. Okay, I'm not salty. I'm good.
Yep. So we've
good.
got the Storm Surge that's going to be able to re-roll its attacks. We've got the Hammerhead that's going to be able to re-roll its attacks.
The head of Hammer.
And they're going to be wounding on 2s. There's going to be very little saves against them. So, you know, it's very strong. It's very strong.
Yeah. So, whatever. All right. The Hammerhead is shockingly effective at turning single time block. Okay, better. Here we go. 1 CP. Submunitions. Use a stratagem in your shooting phase when a Hammerhead model from your army is selected to shoot. If that model is equipped with a railgun, instead of making attacks with the weapon in this phase, you select one enemy unit that's not within the engagement range of any units from your army and is within 36 inches of and visible to that model. You roll 1d6 for each model in that unit, adding 1 to each roll if that unit has 11 or more models. And for each 4+, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound to a maximum of 8 mortal wounds.
Yeah, so it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it.
It's very strong. Can definitely help deal with
it's not
numerous models.
It's not strong. I would say it is strong, with a K. Strong, not strong. It's ridiculously strong. Yeah. So yeah. There you go. That's yeah.
All right. So now those are the 2 articles we have. Now, someone named Codex Cat has leaked some of the Codex information. This is not gospel. They didn't show any pictures because they've been asked not to show any pictures from the Codex, but they have taken a picture of their cat with the book. So, you know, this is allegedly accurate information, and they've been cited as a reliable source before. Okay. I'm not telling you this is gospel though. So this is why we're not going to go to any pages or anything like that. I'm going to tell you the news, but I don't want anybody to be like, hey, Frosty Fist leaked such and such.
Thank you, Kaiju. Totally agree. Attention Game Workshops. Railgun too strong. Please fix Love Freak and the Freak Breeding Program. Thank you.
All right, so marker lights have gotten an interesting rework. They are used
Stupid.
as an action, but they still seem to be able to, like most actions, as far as like when you're doing them for objectives, most actions can't be done while they're shooting. So at least it might be like it used to be, where they can do the marker lights but not shoot and do marker lights at the same time. The unit's doing the action, and they give marker lights as a buff. Vehicles, drones, pathfinders still may move, but all of their infantry can do this, I believe. They cannot leave marker lights while falling back or advancing. And in the shooting phase, in the shooting phase, each marker light can be applied on a 3+ to an enemy unit you can shoot. So instead of doing your shooting phase, you're applying the marker lights. And it means no negative to hit penalties, because this is an action, not exactly an attack. Okay, so like if you're a -1 to hit because of dense cover or something like that, doesn't apply to this. You can still get the marker lights, no problem. Now, this is the effect, though. This is where things get different. So, well, I guess no penalties is a buff, because before you could have penalties, you were technically shooting the marker lights than before. So that's a buff. Now, it used to be you had to get like, I don't know, 3-4 marker lights to get the +1 to hit. Now it's a token spend system in a different way. You can spend 1 token on a unit that you have a marker light on, and each time a Tout Empire fires at an enemy. So it's like if you have squads A, B, and C, and you lit up 3 tokens on the Eradicators, just because I've been saying their name a lot. Squad A, you spend 1 token. Squad A gets +1 to hit. Squad B, you remove another token. Squad B gets +1 to hit. Squad C, again, you remove another token. Squad C gets a +1 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
So it is buffed in a way that before you had to get multiple stacks of marker lights to get the +1 to hit. Now you spend 1 and they get the +1 to hit, but it's per squad, so you're making them spend more. And even though this seems stronger, that they just automatically get +1 to hit, that's strong, it's balanced out, because the other benefits that came from stacking the markers on someone before, like ignoring cover and stuff like that, they don't get that. They just get the +1 to hit. So it's like they got the best ability out of it, but for easier, but they didn't get the other stuff that goes with. So It's like it's balanced out. It's like they lost some things, but they gained some things there. There will be other uses for these marker light tokens, likely seeker missiles, but that's just a guess at this point.
Right.
So overall, marker lights mean fewer stacking benefits, but that's an easy +1 to hit.
Agreed.
Attention. In shooting flays, please fix love freak clone pup number 74. There are different factions, different seps now. They all get the different bonuses, just like Space Marines and their chapters. I'm going to butcher these names. The Daleth get cover on infantry at range. Auxiliaries get auxiliaries can't gain other sept advantages. Okay. Bork gets +4 range to all guns. That's adding getting extra range on your guns is always good. Range attack versus vehicles of strength 7 or less, and battle suits are -1 strength. A bit random, but it helps to protect against some small arm fire. So having any shots that come in against you, having ranged attacks or shots that come in against you being 1 less strength, that could be helpful, right? If you have something that's strength 7 and it gets dropped down to a 6, that could be the difference between being wounded on a 4 and being wounded on a 3. We have another letter from Freak about the railgun. Looks over at the Freak breeding program. No, that monster deserves no mercy. Viorla, plus 2 inches to move, with wholly within your deployment zone on turn 1, and you can re-roll advances and charge. That's pretty good. A very mobile Tau, I guess. Tau Sept, re-roll 1 hit or wound when attacking. And then plus 3-inch auras and command abilities. That one for a shooting army seems like the one that a lot of people will probably use. Re-rolling hits and wounds, that's like the old... well, that's kind of like salamanders now. Farside Enclaves always count as marker light buff whenever they're within 12 inches or less, and re-roll 1 wound roll when attacking. Farside Enclaves has always been kind of the more close combat. Well, I say close combat, but like close distance shooting or fighting sept. So that's kind of makes sense. And then Sakia, I don't know my Tau. Dense cover with versus vehicles at greater than 18 inches. Light cover versus infantry. No penalty for shooting in engagement range. Wow. Okay, so that's something I freaked out before because the word was going around about battle suits being able to shoot without penalty in engagement range. And I was like, well, kind of a pain in the ass. So like if I get in with close combat with say my Wolfen or my Thunderwolves or whatever, and they don't kill them all in one go, they could just light me up. But now it's just apparently one specific sept or chapter that can do that. So that's a pretty cool change. War gear. Plasma rifle changed. It's now a single shot 1, strength 8, -4 AP, damage 3. So it's like one of the plasma incinerators for Hellblasters, but with 3 damage instead of 2. Similar to the Fusion Blaster. Seeker missiles, 72-inch range. We talked about that. That's most of the battlefield. Heavy 1, strength 9, AP. It just says AP minus. Damage 2d3. 1 shot each. And some people think that these are going to need marker lights to launch them. The Skyrack gets D3 plus 1 shots with these, so that's a lot. And having a lot of strength 9 missiles is definitely going to be nothing to sneeze at. Neutron blasters are going to be 18-inch, assault 2, strength 5, AP -3, and damage 2. I mean, they're going to be good. No doubt about it. Hey, I'd buy the breeding cult combat patrol.
That'd be successful. Yeah, man, easy to paint.
Battlesuits War Gear, ATS is gone. Counterfire system gives keyword for strat as previewed. That's the one where they can negate incoming damage, but once again, they got to call it in advance.
Right.
The counterfire system, you can take that as war gear for things like suits, but it comes in built in automatically to things like the Storm Surge and the Riptide. Velocity Tracker gives you +1 to hit versus the fly keyword, which is pretty good. Shield Generator gives a 4-up invul save, 5 points for Crisis, 10 points for Commanders, and built in again to the Storm Surge and the Riptide. And interesting thing is that the rumor is that they're going to stay at a 4+ invul, and they're not going to be able to take a 3+ invul like they could in previous editions. To which, I mean, we've seen with the Imperial Knights and the Dreadnoughts so far, they don't seem to like big robots having a 3-up invul. I think that's fair. Iridium Armor, it's 10 points for a 2+ save. So there's some war gear there. Some points costs. Storm Surge, as I mentioned before, is going to be 330 points. Commanders, they're going to get captain style rerolls of 1s. I'm interested to see. Hopefully, that'll be a true captain style reroll where they can't give it to themselves. Enforcer has damage 1 innately. XV8s and Farsight buff to shoot and charge after falling back. That's going to be good. Commanders being able to back out of combat and then shoot and charge back in. That's one of the things that messed me up with the Cold Star Commanders in last edition, right? because one of the games with Atlas was a good example where tied me up, negated all
Emotional
the damage on the
damage!
shield drones, fell back, lit me up, and just shot everything off the table. And then I would charge in again. He'd take all the damage on the shield drones. He'd back up. He'd shoot everything. He'd charge in again. So apparently the Cold Star commanders are getting that power back. No, I believe all crisis suits will be able to shoot in close combat. I mean, maybe. I'm just going by what's listed as the Sept abilities. If it is all crisis suits, well, I mean, that's just another thing I might disagree with. But it's specific that captains will be able to leave, shoot everything, and charge in again. And it's specific that a Sept will be able to shoot full profiles in close combat. So I don't know. Crisis suits, by the way, are going to 30 points a model and up to toughness 4 and a squad size of 3 to 6. The Sun Shark gets 12 ion rifle shots and can overcharge, plus a 6d6 bomb for mortal wounds on a 4+. Goes up to 10 dice for bigger squads, so it's going to have a blast style ability. Shield drones are 12 points. Seems like they're coming down again. I guess they felt like the Tau have been punished with the expensive shield drones enough, so they're bringing it back down to 12 points, which again, I'm not super enthusiastic now, but with the changes to Savior protocols, I'm okay with it. Like for them being not as effective, I'm okay with them being cheap. The Ghost Keel is 160 points and can't get shield generators, so that's pretty interesting. Other things, Nova Reactor no longer deals damage to the unit like a Riptide. No longer deals damage to the unit using it, but it can burn out and not function for the rest of the game. So that's a bit of a buff. And they've got a strategy that can mitigate burning out for 1 CP. So it'll be like, oh, it doesn't do anything anymore. Boom, they spend a CP, they get their Nova Reactor back. But again, the Nova Reactor can't buff their invul save up to a 3+ save, which is nice. Savior protocols we already covered. Seeker Missile Stratagem allows striking out of line of sight and +1 to wound if the target has marker light tokens. Devilfish has a reroll 1s to hit stratagem for fire warriors and breachers. So if they come out of the transport, they can light something up and rerolling 1s to hit. The Fireblade can get an aura of exploding 6s with pulse weapons. Pretty nice. And pulse weapons get 4 stratagems in the new codex. They can be up to a pistol 2. And unmodified 6s can also... unmodified 6s to hit can automatically wound your target. Striker teams can get pulse weapons that get rapid fire to 36 inches and extra AP. It seems like that's going to be one of those situations where, the troops choice is going to be really strong, like with the Mechanicus, getting rapid fire at 36 inches and extra AP. And then breachers can ignore cover and re-roll wound rolls. So lots of changes coming up for the Tau. I will send you to Jesus. Yes, the Tau will be sending us all to Jesus. I mean, the Emperor. All right, guys, so that is a bunch of the changes to Tau. Do we agree with everything?
Sounds like a bunch of bullshit. What?
Some of it is not as scary as it seems in advance. There are things like the railgun ignoring invulseams that just seem super scary. I really don't know how things like Imperial Knight armies are going to deal with that. But I definitely feel like if you see a hammerhead, you gotta focus fire that bitch. You gotta focus fire that bitch. And I think it really is going to be just mad. Look at your own strategy and think how would you overcome something like this? Do I need to take so many vehicles and leave myself open to any attacks like this? And I'm not saying that you need to tailor your list to your Tau opponent, but if you know you're facing Tau, You don't have to specifically know what they're bringing, but think to yourself, what could they bring, right? What could any opponent I have at the store, if I go tonight, what can they bring? And what am I going to do about it? So, maybe you need less vehicles in your army. Maybe you need something that can deep strike and deal with a hidden tank out of line of sight. Freak's having fun with those gifts. He always does. He was, when I was mentioning that there are some worrisome things to talk about with some of the Tau releases tonight, he's like, oh man, I've got some new gifts we're going to be using. What do you guys think? Do some of these things seem like a welcome change for you guys? Do some of these seem like maybe they're a touch too strong? I'd really like to know what your opinions are. And I know that the number one thing I'm going to hear, usually this group is good, but usually like in the comments we get after the show, people watching on the watch back through, is going to be, and I'm going to agree with this. I will say, you know what, you're right. Okay. First thing I'm going to hear is, well, Space Marines get all the releases and they've got things that are super powerful like Eradicators and, this, that, and the other. And they do get lots of releases. And I feel like Blade Guard and Eradicators, Indominus in general, was a very strong release. But for all of the complaints about how much stuff Space Marine gets, I do want to point out that for everything that they get that's useful, like Eradicators and Blade Guard, there are also 15 other releases that everyone's like, why did we need that again? Why did we need a 14th, Primaris Lieutenant? Why do we need 3 troop choices brand new for the Primaris that all do basically the same thing? Don't get me wrong, my Incursors look cool. I don't think they're any better than the Intercessors. I think the Intercessors are better. And I think, Infiltrators look cool. And it's kind of nice that they have that bubble of deep striking, anti-deep striking. But again, I don't know if we needed all of these new kinds of things. I love the Primaris Chaplains. I don't know if we needed 2 of almost the exact same Primaris Chaplain, So for like everything we get that's amazing for Space Marines, a lot of it is just redundant and unnecessary.
Yeah, Kaiju's right. Yeah, I think he agrees with you too. I mean, they've always been shooty as hell and difficult to play against, but I think this kind of gives it a little bit of a vulnerability. It kind of takes the edge off to play against them, I think. I think that was done by design, really.
Sure. It appears that part of GW's marketing idea is to OP a unit or army for a short time, then they nerf it again, and then on to the next unit army. You're exactly right.
That's exactly right. They do it to all the armies, actually.
Yeah, so like, there's probably going to be some great things coming out for G-Stealer, Cult, and Custodes when they come out next. And by the time Imperial Guard gets some love, it's going to be great, and I'm going to be happy for them. And so, now there are some that linger. Like the Drukhari have been on top since they came out. They got a nerf and they're still at the top. So we'll see what happens. I don't think it's always about tactics. I think other factions just want to feel supported. Might be hard to understand that from the outside. And I totally get that. So like I have mixed feelings on that. So I have an Eldar army. It's Starklight Dreamers Eldar army. And on one hand, I get that they haven't had new models in a long time, except for like now they've got new models, but they haven't had new models in a long time. Although up until about 2 years ago, the Eldar were on top for 10 plus years, as far as rules go. So they may not have gotten love in the model department, but they got love in the meta department, right? Mm-hmm. And for a long time, the developers were just okay with Eldar being the winning army. And I think like that's like a mixed bag. Like I can understand where the players don't feel supported model wise, but 10 years of being the strongest army, you definitely got to feel supported some kind of way with the book, right? And so kind of, I don't know. Everyone wants some love. You're right. And like I said, I have been of the feeling that, you know what, Tau were in such a good place for so long, and they have left me feeling utterly powerless, like nothing I did mattered. And I'm like, let them be at the bottom of the list for a little while, right? And then, of course, the same person who had the nice message that I mentioned earlier also said, God, also said, no one deserves to feel like their entire army is bad. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. The Emperor protects, but not the fields. So anyways, with 6 months rumored thing happening, it'll happen more. The new Gene Stealer cult look fantastic and flavorful, right? I don't mean to sound judgmental or targeting. I'm on the outside. No. I didn't think you were. I was just saying you are correct, and I think that's one of the reasons that I feel like I can see things from multiple perspectives, because I have like 8 or 9 armies. And so I kind of understand. I try and feel the love from all sides. But yeah, no, I totally get where you're coming from, man. Freak, we got about 15 minutes. You want to look at some pretty art for a few minutes?
I do, man. Let's knock that out. Give me a second here. I love me some art of the week. That's one of my favorite pastimes. Like to get me a tall cup of coffee and look at the pretty pictures. Every now and then I stop and look at one that looks really pretty like. It makes me kind of chuckle inside.
And you know what? Like, when I had that talk with some beautiful members of our community who let me see what I look like in my salt, right? In my venomous sways. I fully intended to come in and have a bitch fest, but like, I actually enjoyed that we went through these articles, we went through some of these stats and some of these changes, and we're able to find things that are like, okay, yeah, there's some stuff that's a little worrisome, but also, hey, here's some things we can do about it, or here's something that makes this better, such as the really strong damage deflection stratagem. It's like, oh, hey, it's got to be activated at a certain time, and it's a risk. It's not a guaranteed success. I want to send a pic of my demons to Whip for Kami because I haven't top coated them. Right on. Well, if you want to put it in Discord, I can grab it from Discord. If you want to send it straight to me, I'll forward it to Freak. But you go ahead and top, my friend. You go ahead and top all you want.
All right, we're going to burn right through these, y'all.
All right.
This is by the amazing Miss Roxy the Riveter.
Oh, yeah. This is her Megatrack Scrapjet.
Unbelievable. Thingamajiggy. Looks so freaking cool, man.
It's amazing. It's just all green stuff in plastic art.
Right? We heard that she actually get into sculpting, too. So cool. Pretty freaking amazing, huh? I want to get a closer look at this one. This is pretty neat here.
It's so
Wow.
epic is the only word that fits it.
That's insane. What is she using? This is crazy, man.
Roxy is the best orc scratch builder.
She is. She freaking is. She's a beast. All right, let's see. I'm trying to get as much of these in.
But also Essex boys.
Oh, here we go.
They are
Dude, here we go.
They are the
See, my name is Bennett. I ain't in it. Nah, you go ahead on, man. You do you.
You say my name is Bennett and I ain't in it.
I ain't in it. Yeah, you do you. You the one who's gonna catch it, baby.
Best.
Not me. Okay. All right, you do you. Really good stuff, man. Holy crap. Trying to get it on the art of the week. Holy crap. This stuff is amazing.
Dude,
Freaking
I love
cyborg. That is so badass.
Dude, so that is a Age of Sigmar beast that he's on, and it's converted up to be his Squigosaur. That's supposed to be a boss on Squigosaur. It looks so epic.
I love that.
It's like instead of a big squig pig thing, he's riding a freaking dinosaur. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man. Jeez. And of course, it's gorgeously painted.
Of course, Essex Boy always does amazing work.
Man, I'll be like I am when I grow up. All right, we've seen that one. I'm trying to get interesting shot. Oh, that's a good shot there.
That's such a good. I love that whole. I'm like, I'm freaking in love, but jealous. I didn't think of it first.
That's a really cool idea. Really neat, man.
The leathery reptile skin,
Yeah,
came out perfect.
yeah, they did that.
Balu Wildheart,
Balu.
beautiful skin on that
Look how
vampiress.
tiny. How did you do it?
And non-metallic.
Non-metallic. You're a monster. How did you do that?
Beautiful, beautiful work. Like that's an inspiration.
Man.
That almost makes me want to play vampires.
Dude, freaking amazing. Okay, we get the backside now. All right.
The orcs really are begging for you to be creative. Absolutely.
Look at this. Look at the freaking hair.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
freaking
every strand of hair is
OSL,
highlighted.
yeah. Wow. Wow. That's freaking epic, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for your
She
burn
could step
brushing
on me in
moments.
those heels.
Okay.
What?
What?
What? Again, that looks like a painting, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't even look like a model. It's like
I
that's
don't know why. Look
that's
at this.
it looks like digital art.
Yeah, I look at this and I think of Birdman from Rick and Morty. Birdman, no. Okay. It does look like a.
And
painting.
even when you change the angles, it's still not convincing that this is a mini or a bust or whatever.
That
It,
is so
it still
cool.
looks like art.
Yeah.
I like the teeth in the clouds. That's kind of cool.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that. That's scary. I guess those are nostrils or eyeballs. I don't know. Wow.
Absolutely phenomenal. I love the blending of the nose into like the blue tones there. Yeah, only when it starts to get like to this angle that you realize, oh shit, this thing's 3D.
Yeah.
So quarter paint, and I guess quarter paint is Chris. Chris sure is amazing, really good guy.
Wow.
The orb, it's almost like no matter what angle you look at it, the orb is still glowing.
Yeah. That's gorgeous. The custom bit.
The custom bit, I thought you'd want to see these custom Templar
Very
pieces.
Nice. Ooh, look at all them candles.
Yeah,
Damn.
that big ass Templar sword too.
Right? That is so cool. That's all cool. This is gorgeous. I love it. It almost looks like the paint scheme you used.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Looks pretty freaking cool, man.
So he apparently sells some of those conversion bits if you ever want to look them up for your Templar Dreadnought. It'd be kind of cool because my my Invictor carries a a big ass Asian sword, and your Templar could have this big ass broadsword.
Yeah. Freaking cool. You. Come on, let's get some shots here. Oh, I love this.
Love that two-tone edge highlighting.
Yeah. Nice shot of his crotch there.
Those custom bits really do take that to another
They
level.
stick out, yeah. This is the one I really wanted to see here. Wow, I love that shoulder pad. Damn, that's so cool. So freaking cool. Wow, this is Iridium Miniatures, Ilinsko. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is insane.
That flame effect.
Yeah.
The way there's a color representing all 4 of the Chaos Gods.
Wow. Wow. That's just
amazing. The texture on the wings.
Oh my goodness, man.
And the spot highlights. Even the gold on that Stormcast shield down below had like a pale, lifeless look to it.
It looks better with a darker backdrop.
Yeah, I thought so too. The colors just pop.
Yeah. Oh man. Super cool. Let's get this one. Damn, that flame sword is just
amazing.
Epic. It's just epic. Really epic. Right. All right. 40K.
So we saw the beginning of this Chrome project.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And this is the finished piece.
And that's all. Oh my God.
It's interesting because like from certain angles, the coloring looks harsh, but at the right angles, like you can see the sky in the background, the red dirt reflecting off of the armor. Like the chrome effect is really selling because this is not just reflective metal that he's painted in, or she. They've painted in what it's reflecting, you know?
That is insane. Oh my gosh, it looks so real.
This is one of the definitions of painting until you tell a story.
Wow.
Like you can see the planes that this guy is on, you know?
Wow.
This guy's on an arid planet, you know, and nothing but like flat, dry desert around him. An open sky.
That is incredible.
They've managed to paint a world onto a miniature.
That's exactly right. That's exactly. Wow! Look at the reflection of the back of the helmet. Jeez, dude, that's. Man, I'm lucky if I don't get paint on between the shoulder pad and the backpack, man. That's just ridiculous, man. Oh man, you just showing off, Homer. Ah, gone. Dang. No.
Yeah, speaking of salt, I'm going to paint a world of hurt onto their brushes.
Vardic Miniatures. Show us what you've got. All right. Jeez.
Brilliant.
Indeed.
Absolutely brilliant.
Skin tones on point, man.
That one textured arm, like it's like wood or whatever,
Yeah.
just reminds me of Witchblade.
Look at this. Kind of gives me Avatar vibes as they're stepping on the ground. It just starts to light up.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Very, very cool. The glow effect on the toes really sells like the OSL.
Yeah.
The skin tone, obviously, perfect.
Oh, yes.
I like the shading on the bone, the bird skull at the top of her head.
Mm-hmm.
The wood effect again is very, very, sells it very well.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
I mean, this is true showmanship here.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, wow. And they did not spare the cape. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
I love that a lot of the leaves have multiple tones on it.
Yeah. Gives it a fall.
Yeah, because,
Autumn.
myself included, sometimes we skimp on the leaves, right? This is the orange leaf. This is the yellow leaf. This is the brown leaf. No, each leaf has kind of like some multiple tones worked onto it.
Unbelievable.
This is some grimdark done well. Some real grimy rust effect. Real nice.
That is just incredible. That looks so red. Whoo, I need a tetanus shot now, baby.
Right?
Dang.
So, interestingly...
Oh, hold on. Let me go back. I need to give credit to that. Who is this? Oh, yeah. Grimdark Compendium. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Was that the one? Or is that... yeah, Compendium?
Yeah. And this person used to use AK Streak and Grime. This person now uses, for anyone really interested in a rust effect,
is that a Contemptor body?
That is a Contemptor Dreadnought.
It is Contemptor. Okay.
That is specifically, I believe, the Iron Warriors Dreadnought.
Iron Warriors. Okay, yeah.
Because at Forge World has Contemptors for a lot of the different legions.
Right.
This is Rust Paint by Dirty Down.
Oh, wow.
That really grimdark effect. So if anyone wants to try that, it'll definitely leave you thinking you need some tetanus.
Hey, this is a mini turista. Mini turista.
Yeah. That's the person that Oni's taking lessons with.
Yeah.
Great glow effect.
Man.
You can see the glow effect even better from this shot here.
Very nice.
Cool blue tones lit up by the green light. Very great OSL. Okay. And this third picture will show you the steps they took. So this is an old mini they had. They put some black putty over the spot that they wanted to glow. And they took some dark blue ink and tinted everything else to have cool tones. They didn't paint it blue from the get-go. They tinted what they already had done. Okay, and then they took the side that they wanted to glow, and then they used green ink to add the glow. And so everything has its own natural color. Everything has been tinted on top of it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Well done. Yeah, that's a very cool little trip there. Oh, wow. Pinturando miniatures. Wow. Beautiful.
That is so beautiful.
Wow, very clean, very crisp. Even with all the damage.
Yeah, all the damage, all the snow, that's clung to the side of the repulsor.
Yeah.
It's beautiful and battle worn at the same time.
Yeah.
Superflies, love and working with inks. Hope to get there one day. Nice.
James Hamill mini painting.
James Hamill. That's a name that comes across Otter Week pretty frequently.
Yeah.
And they've done some Emperor's Children Terminators. And I see that they've gone definitely the path of excess with these skin, bits of skin stitched together over top of their armor.
That's crazy, man.
They've definitely sold the effect, the free hand. custom chaplain from Max something or other. That torch is awesome. The torch as a Crozius.
Maximalis. That is insane, dude. It looks like a match.
That's amazing. And again, the OSL, the glowing off the armor in his face.
Wow. Stop showing off there. The pickle jar.
Pickle jar. One of my favorite channels of all time. Dude, those scales on the dinosaur just look awesome.
Yeah. That is so cool.
Kaiju, I love subtle OSL. Very nice.
Who is this from? This looks pretty damn cool.
There'll be one compilation picture with all the with the name on it.
Ah, here we are. Heavy metal. Justice Frisch.
Amazing job, Justice. Really, really crisp work.
Wow, non-metallic. Wow.
Beautiful, beautiful non-metallic.
What?
When non-metallic is done like this, it feels very Borderlandsy.
Yeah, it does.
It's awesome, and I mean that as a compliment.
I love Borderland artwork.
Elstonation has been cranking out the Marvel Crisis Protocol, and man, he has really done a great job highlighting that skin.
Wow.
I know a lot of people struggle with like dark skin, but he is highlighted in such a such a great way. And then also a lot of people struggle with white too, and he knocked out the Black Widow's white armor from the third movie like it was no problem.
Yeah.
He's like, what are two things people struggle with? Red hair and white armor. Boom, got it.
Oh, wow.
There's Toad.
Toad, yeah. Wow.
One of the people that used to be on our group, allegedly, his ex-wife ended up sleeping with the actor who played Toad after she left him.
What?
Yep. This is Rich from Spray Black Studios. Now, what's interesting, he's normally known for a very grim, dark paint style, but he's gone the more fantasy route with the Eldar here, and it looks like the glow on the sword looks good. The freehand, the highlighting on the bike there, just so good. That freehand is just so badass.
Yeah, it's amazing.
The bone work is nice and clean, but it's clean with multiple shades, right? It's not like clean bone, but like shortcut. Like you can definitely tell there's layers and layers of care here.
Oh man, yeah. When you know you love your work.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That is one badass world. Look at it. You can see his guy liner.
Wow.
I can't paint eyes. This guy's done this whole guy liner. How the hell do you highlight freehand, right?
It ain't me. Not I, said me.
This is more BS than the Tau guns.
Emotional damage.
Tabletop Ready Minis did a Salamanders themed Imperial Knight here. I love the dragon bone head on the cannon here.
Yeah.
Super cool. And it's a thermal cannon too. So the dragon cannon actually spits out fire.
That's so crazy.
I love the highlights on the green. Very nice. Especially on that front leg plate.
Yeah.
Tabletop Ready Minis, by the way, does commission work, I believe, in the UK. So if you want something nice and converted like this or painted
very
nicely,
clean. Very nice.
Yeah, definitely get in touch with him. I love the bubbles in the lava.
Yeah. Oh, well done, mate.
That's so cool. Oh man, I love that heat bloom. I missed that earlier when I was looking at the picture.
Wow.
I could never get writing on those
I
things.
can't. I never either. It looks like chicken scratch for me. Look at that. That's actually well done, dude. Oh yeah, this is always important.
And back to the freak breeding program.
All right, what we got here?
If you search Instagram, this is from the Commodore of Dorn.
Ah, yeah. Oh yeah, we
Nice.
saw some of these last time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he just finished those during the show.
That's right, because these were actually solid red. They dirtied them up. Very nice. Oh, very nice. Me likey.
Sexy, sexy.
Very nice. Yeah, I like that.
Great job, Commodore.
So he really did a great work with the pilots, and then he just went and just dirtied up the plane. I love it, man.
Also, he said the most satisfying thing for him was painting the control panel. Like, that's one of the things you usually say.
Yeah. All right, who's this from?
That is from Superfly
Oh, is that a stream?
of Junk, I believe.
Yeah.
So this is like an urban base, and you can see like there's you can see the beams of the building and stuff like that. You can see like where nature has kind of reclaimed it here, but there's still some toxic junk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. On one of the pictures, he said, I don't know if it was this piece. I think it was another test piece. You could actually see like the little bags of trash that he made. Like actual trash bags, not like.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. Like, look how detailed that terrain is.
Yeah.
Can you imagine putting your Space Marines on there and taking the objective on like the second floor?
Dude, they look like real beams. Freaking cool, man. That is so awesome.
That's awesome. Really awesome terrain work. What's cool is that he's going to end up donating this test piece to his local gaming club. He's like,
that's
man,
so cool,
if you guys live closer, I'd hook you guys up. I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
That is really nice. Nice gesture.
Some brilliant, brilliant art of the week, everybody. Thank you for submitting all this amazing work. Oh, or even if you didn't submit it and I stole it from the group chat, Commodore.
God. My music.
But really, really awesome art of the week, everyone.
Did I not? Oh, here it is. There we go.
Oh. You know something I didn't think about?
I
wonder if the phrase tits is against the YouTube TOS.
We're going to find out, huh? Gonna learn today.
We're going to learn today. All right. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us during the stream. And you know what? Actually, talking with you guys about my journey, about how I was feeling, I was being toxic. It was brought to my attention, and trying to be on a journey to be more hobby positive, because that's what we always intended for this channel to be about, is about the hobby positivity, and of course, for a while we were doing the salt thing as a bit, and it kind of got too real. And so I appreciate everybody's support during this attempt to be a better version of myself. And I think we got through the Tau stuff pretty well.
Yeah, I think we did. And without being ugly.
Right. I mean, there's some stuff that you can feel free to call, this is BS or whatever. But
Yep.
We ended up looking at it logically, and some of it's not as bad as it seems.
Yeah.
Calm your tats, gentlemen. I need more. I honestly need more. Tats. Or the other things. Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you guys like tonight's show, make sure that you grab up an ox and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. Drop us some comments down below if you're watching from the archives, and I'm really interested in any of your thoughts on, of course, the art of the week, or any of the Tau discussions that we had earlier. It's a lot of information all at once, and I'm really interested to see what you guys think. Apparently, some of us came out of this with the emotional damage, but it's okay. We're going to get through this. if you're interested, we are going to do a hobby hangout. So, I'm going to take a wellness break after this, and then I'm going to start throwing out links, and we're going to do some hobbying and hanging out, and it's going to be a good time. And if you guys are not yet subscribed to this channel or any of our brothers down in the description below, then Freak and I would love to have you join us here on the Frosted Fist as part of the pack. Till next time, guys, stay frosty.
That's a lot of oxes. Oh, my finger's getting tired. Oh my God. Oh, I'm suffering.
Emotional damage.